Good morning. This is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN. Saturday morning programming is brought to you by Outlook Financial. And this morning, we're talking with Mayor Beamish. It's the Mayor's Report.
And the mayor is in the studio, and it's good to see you, Clint, and it's also good to see David and all the listeners out there. It's been a wonderful week.
Well, it has indeed. Great fireworks display. Happy birthday, America.
243 years young, because if you look at those countries in Europe, a lot of them have been a lot longer than 243. Yeah. But, so I say 243 years young, but still, we're a proud country, and we have a lot of patriotism in Troy, Ohio, USA.
And a lot of entertainment was going on this past week, too. Not just the fireworks, but we had the Ultimate Eagles tribute down at Treasure Island on the 4th of July.
And the parade.
I
mean, July 4th was certainly a celebration in Troy, Ohio. And the only thing I wish is the weather would just cooperate a little bit better.
Well, it seems like we're either feast or famine. Either we're getting so much rain we don't know what to do with all the water, and now it's so hot and baking everything solid.
And the humidity is just up. But, you know, we get through it, and this is summer in
it's what we
Midwest.
expect. Yeah, in Ohio, this is kind of our weather. It's, if you don't like it today, give it just a little while, it'll be different.
But I do appreciate the patience of everybody. You know, when it gets warm, you get a little testy maybe, and you just got to look. And we have a lot of projects going on. Let's face it,
there are.
We're always able to move forward with projects, and that's good through the good stewardship of our auditor and our city staff and our administration, as well as our city council. So you know, a lot of times we look at those projects at the moment and say, good, no, I wish we could get done with it. But once they're done, and you said this many times, Clint, once they're done, we're really happy.
Well, yeah, like any construction project that you're doing. Say you're remodeling your kitchen. You didn't like it the way it was, but it's got to get a whole lot worse before it gets better.
That's a good way to say it.
And once you make it through that, oh my gosh, when you come out the other side, it is so much better. Perfect example, I've seen the overhead shot of the McCain Dorset roundabout, and I am so excited to be able to drive through that and what that is going to do for traffic.
Well, Finfrox is our construction outfit, and of course they do great work wherever they are, but I can't believe how, with all the weather changes that we've had, that they're that far along. Now their goal obviously is to be complete and operable by school start, and I think right now they're ahead of schedule.
Well, I was going to say, the whole idea that all the curbs are in, the circles in, you know, all the components look like they're there and getting close to putting down some blacktop.
And I've watched the trucks driving around there, so, you know, trucks are big, and I know that was a concern by a lot of folks, how the bus is going to get through, how the trucks, you know, well, I think they're doing a field test every day doing that, and they're having no problems.
I think it was probably designed with those buses and big trucks in mind.
Our engineering team has done well, and again, I give a big kudo to Finfrock Construction for all their efforts and what they're doing and their timeliness of getting this job done.
All right. And we were talking about the heat, too. In times like this is a great opportunity to go maybe check on an elderly neighbor if they don't have air conditioning. Invite them over for lunch. Invite them over for dinner. Let them cool off in your house.
Clint, you always have you care for the people around you, and in many of our times when we've had discussions, we've tried to say things that might be a help to the community, and this is a good one. With the heat the way it is and the humidity the way it is, I would suggest, and I'm not a great example today because I'm wearing dark, but I'd wear light clothes and stay as cool as you possibly can, regardless if you have to be outside. Just remember there are shade places And then there's also, pools you could go to. But checking on your elderly neighbors is a wonderful idea that you present, Clint. And I
Well,
thank you for saying that.
even if, say, someone doesn't have central air and they open up the windows, we haven't had that much of a breeze to move air through the house either.
Well, it seems like we always have something to talk about. Either it's rain or it's heat or snow, and early on. But they're all tips that I'm glad you bring up, because there are things that we can do to show our care and compassion for all of us who have to live with the elements.
Absolutely. And, well, don't let it fool you. I'm still keeping an umbrella next to my front door because I know it's bound to come back. You had council this week.
We did have council. July 1, we did have council. And we have a number of issues. We had 8 of our council members there. First of all, we had a public hearing on our 2020 tax budget that the auditor presents. By the way, that was a resolution and it passed 8-0, which was, again, for 2020, looking ahead. And that's pretty standard by our auditor. And then we also had resolutions. We had 2. Loan Review Committee is a group of people that really look at our downtown business and loans that we can give to downtown businesses. And we had 2 requests. One was for, I believe, 8 South Market. Many people know it as the bank building. But that was for $250,000 loan, and that was passed 8-0. We want to preserve our downtown. And
Absolutely.
That's our living room. And then the second loan, again, downtown, by the Loan Review Committee, made this recommendation to council. And that was for, many of us know, Herons is coming down to downtown. And that loan was for $125,000. Good investments in both cases.
Absolutely.
Both passed 8-0 from the city council. So that moves us forward with those buildings.
When I'm thinking of Herons being downtown, that's the first market downtown in 100 years.
I think you're right. And with our emphasis on second and third floor possible apartments, condos,
Yes.
Getting people to live along the river and in our downtown, that's just going to be good.
It puts the convenience back in your
That's
shopping
right.
downtown.
That's right. And I know Connor is very excited about coming downtown, and I think that's a win-win for everybody.
I'm excited to get off work and be able to go pick up something to put on the grill.
And he has good.
Oh yeah,
That's
indeed.
for sure. We also had another resolution, and this was again the Halifax Villas, and just doing oversizing utilities, roadway improvements, and that was part of the plan development for the Halifax, and that was passed 8-0 as well. We did have a number of ordinances that we looked at. Again, reappropriation, again by the auditor's recommendation, and this is appropriation for city funds in different accounts, which is routine. We do this all the time, every year, and as long as we got the money in the bank to do, we can move it. And they passed 8-0 on that. The other one was the Trex liquor permits. Looking at that and having council make a decision on each and every one of them. So the one ordinance was to repeal an ordinance that allows them to look at each one as an individual case instead of having a maximum limit. And that passed 8-0 as well. It's hard to believe, but August 23rd, 24th is going to come on quick, and many
Yeah.
of us know it as Tour de Donut Weekend.
Oh my gosh.
And we also have a related donut jam. Be the Match is all tied into that weekend, and so we're expecting thousands of bike riders to come through, and it's a fun event, a regular. So we had to pass legislation regarding Tour de Donut and the donut jam, and notwithstanding provisions as well. But that's, even though August seems a while down the road, we still have to have those things in place so we can move forward with that. And they both were passed 8-0. We do have a public hearing on July 15th, which will be our next council meeting. and that is to rezone some parcels of land from to a planned development. That'll be on as a public hearing. They'll listen, and then President Baker will assign that to a committee, and they'll discuss it. And so it's down the road for being on council's agenda, but you still have to assign an ordinance number to it, and then have a public hearing. So they did do that. Really, council beyond that went very, very smooth. We talked about the 4th of July, we've already talked about. That's come and gone, and now we're moving into the activities.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what. First off, Miami County has so many activities going on this summer, you will never be bored. And a huge chunk of that pie is happening right here in Troy.
Well, you're absolutely right. Let's just start with Proudly Plaza. We seem to have always some concerts down on the square and these are events where you can come, bring your chair, sit, find the big tree and sit under that as well.
Get some shade.
Get some shade. But the cultural side of Troy, we talk about recreational for people of all ages, and I think we are doing a great job with our park system, and we're continuing to look at amenities that will draw people to our Miami County and in our city of Troy. And just to name two at Proudly Plaza, on July 12th, it happens to be a special day for this mayor. His birthday is that day, but we're going to have Honey and Blue. It's a pop, blues, soul type concert, 7:30, Proudly Plaza. Chance to come out, relax, and enjoy. Weather permitting, we'll have that concert. And then to follow that up on July 19th, that'll be another Friday concert down on Proudly Plaza, and that's Shannon Clark and the Sugar. Now, I'm not so sure what that's all about. You may know that, Clint, but I know that's 7:30. They try to keep it 7:30 so the sun's setting down below the buildings. Those are just two events in July down on Proudly. But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's tons more.
If you want to just go down to our beautiful Treasure Island Park as well, and you can see a couple of things happening there. We have partnered with the Troy Miami County Library, and we have Lego Movie 2. They come on Tuesday, that's July 9th, and it's down at the amphitheater. And again, free entertainment. It's at dusk, so bring your family and enjoy the Lego Movie.
All this that we're talking about is free.
And I know, and this is sponsored again by the library and the city of Troy. And I'm a big proponent of the Troy Civic Band, the Troy Community Band. These are a group of local professionals that put on great concerts. And I'm going to say this again: the McIntoshes have initiated this years ago, and I'm one of their biggest cheerleaders. And they moved it down to Treasure Island. It's kind of like the home of the Troy Community Band. It's a Troy Civic Band, and they're going to do Moved by Melody. Moved by
Nice.
Melody, and that concert is going to take place on July the 14th. Normally, and I believe that concert will be on Sunday at 7:30, because again, they want the sun to start going down. But bring your chairs and sit on the grass. There is terrace there.
Plenty of room.
If you've never been to the amphitheater at Treasure Island Park, you need to do that. It really has great acoustics, and I can't say enough about
And a great vista as you're sitting there
vista looking
watching
out
the band.
at the river, which was by design. We wanted to be close to the river and to have lots of activities that are associated with the river, but we also want to have cultural activities. And this would be one I would hope you'd mark your calendar and participate with the Troy Civic Band and show them their support and your support. I think you will not be disappointed in the quality and the music that they provide.
Absolutely. And just flash back to last Friday when we had the Army Band downtown
Oh
on
my
Browdy
gosh,
Plaza.
we didn't even start to talk about that. And, that was a warm night, but a wonderful crowd came out to watch the Army Band. And you know what I liked about, they were all great people, and we had a chance to host them cooling off period at City Hall. Well, and yet they were just wonderful individuals. They were talking about their schedule though, and it's hot and humid. They were beat, but they performed, and I liked what they did. They did it in different segments so that they could highlight certain talents that each individual instrument could perform. And I know for one, I thought it was just a wonderful, wonderful concert, and I hope they come back often.
Now, another thing we're looking forward to coming up towards the end of the summer, and that is the Mayor's Concert.
We do. We have the Mayor's Concert. This mayor will be his last opportunity to perform for the crowd, and it'll be bittersweet, but it's time to pass the baton on. But beyond that, the Dayton Philharmonic and Chorus puts on a wonderful show. Usually
Yes, they do.
we have a great turnout. Hopefully we'll have great weather for that to take place. And if I could put another promo on the day before, is the Festival of Nations, where we can celebrate our diversity. And I know Troy Community Radio is always there.
Love going out to that.
And to see the different cultures that represent our city of Troy and Miami County, and the entertainment. It's just a nice package weekend.
It's a great way that it starts to wrap up summer.
Yes, and that's, and then we already talked about the Tour de Donut. It seems like in Troy, and you mentioned Miami County, and I want to mention that too. You don't have to go too far
No,
to have quality
not at all.
activities and events for people of all ages to enjoy. It can be recreation, or it can be culture, and let's not forget the Hainer Cultural Center.
Oh,
Just going there, and the sculptures on the square that are all over.
have brought in every weekend I've been down here since they've been here. Crowds moving around the downtown looking at the sculptures.
The foot traffic's been wonderful, and it just, and the downtown look. It is just a great enhancement for people, a draw for people to come, and we just hope that people want to come and live, work, and play in not only just Troy, Ohio, USA, but Miami County as well.
Well, you said it before, where we've got those big town amenities in our small town of Troy. I love that.
Well, thank you, and I've said that many times. You're right. We're a small Midwestern town, but have all the amenities of a big city.
And you had also brought up, same weekend as Tour the Donut, that we have the Be the Match. And Be the Match, what a great event that is, because it is matching the bone marrow donors.
Absolutely, and it's a good cause. One of our city councilman, Tom Kendall, is very, very active in Be the Match. He really is the person who brought the Be the Match to Troy from big cities, by the way, and he has proven it to be successful in our little small Midwestern city.
And there we have it. That's Troy, also the city with a big heart.
Yeah, I like that too.
All right, Mayor, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to add in this morning?
Other than always to say thank you to you and David and the whole team here at Troy Community Radio for what you do to promote our great city and in our Miami County, and I appreciate that.
Well, our job's kind of easy here when it comes to promoting all the good things that are out there.
Well, I like your tips too. You always have a good suggestion for people in the community on how we can help each other.
All right. Mayor, thank you. This has been the Mayor's Report. Happy birthday, America, and we'll talk to you next Saturday morning. For Mayor Beamish and myself, have a good Saturday morning. 1071 WTJM.